Another challenge that we hear about a lot is that traditionally, when people are working with healthcare data, there's a significant lag between when the encounter occurs with a patient and when we can finally use that data in a meaningful way. So, can you talk about some of the ways that we're shortening that lag between ingestion and usable data in analytics?
There is a fairly significant lag problem with the value-based care world. The value-based economics demand early intervention. You
Mhm.
want to be able to get to the patient as soon as possible, get to an action as soon as possible. It demands continuous monitoring of the patient. That data lag that you face because of these fragmented sources and different cadence of data, it turns proactive management into retrospective auditing. So a lot of analytic software that you see will have a lot of good auditing capability, but that's what you get. You get auditing capability, which lets you do more work based on the retrospective auditing. You get to do forward-looking work. But what clinicians really want to be able to do is act in that action window. You want to be able to prefer someone who is coming in soon to see you. That action window is limited for clinicians. So operators and clinicians have different action windows in our industry, and that's where lag really, really matters. Some data sources need to go through an entire process to ensure that the traditional ETL pipelines have to be adhered to. There is an asynchronous run that needs to happen, and you get the operational data lake that Cedar Gate has, and you get the updated analytics based on that. However, there are certain data sources that you need access to immediately. It doesn't need to go through as much iteration of analytic addition. It needs to be tied to the membership. It needs to have security protocols added to it. After that point, it needs to have a streaming layer of data. Essentially, I see this data, I have all the details about this member identified on this data set. I want to now be able to look at just this data set in aggregate form. I want to be able to interact with just this data. And that particular element of streaming the data, that's where we have set up our near real-time integrations into our analytics application. And that's the solution we bring to the marketplace, where we allow our clients to go in and at near real time interact with their data sources and be able to take action within that actionable window, which allows clinicians and operators to interact with that analytics software at their desired frequency. There's a different use case for an analyst to look at the application and look at a future looking setup versus a clinician who might want an action window setup. And we enable both kinds of users.